I just thought I'd add an interesting, I thought I'd add an observation which I thought was interesting. I'm continually insulted, offended and humiliated by the fact that people can't work out whether I am Blofeld or Dr. Evil. And the reason is because I have a white cat. I had a white cat. He's passed away, unfortunately. Now, anybody who has a white cat who is in that situation of being confused between Dr. Evil and Blofeld would be insulted, offended and possibly humiliated as well. And they're the ones, along with me, who would decide whether they were in breach of 18C of the Racial Discrimination Act. Oliver, of course, my cat, is white, was white, so that would potentially bring it within that ambit. You people who don't have white cats, you wouldn't get asked about that. So if I was a crybaby, I could potentially run off to the Human Rights Commission and have a big whinge about my hurt feelings. But because I'm not a crybaby, I suggest that you work it out amongst yourselves and decide whether I am Dr. Evil or Blofeld, and just settle it, and then I won't be insulted, humiliated or offended anymore.
Senator, would that kind of problem be solved by just giving the Human Rights Commission the power to just more easily dismiss so-called vexatious cases rather than changing the wording of 18C?
No, because there are two things wrong with 18C. First of all, it's not a reasonable person test. The man on the Clapham bus is someone in the category of those claiming to be offended. So in other words, people who own white cats like me would be asked. People who don't own white cats, their opinions are irrelevant in that context. So it's only the group that's claiming to be offended. And second, feelings are not a matter for the law. We have a private realm and we have a public realm. If you're being beaten up, somebody is stealing from you or defrauding you, that's a matter of public interest. The law has a legitimate place to go there. On matters of that are private, the law has no business going in there. So the law has no business intervening in whether you love somebody, hate somebody, whether you think they're disgusting, you don't like them. Those are private matters. The law has no business going there. Feelings are private matters.
It's a joint committee that's handing out a report. What are your expectations of the recommendations?
Oh, I expect the committee will come up with some good recommendations, very sensible ones. My preference would be to repeal 18C. I have a bill to that effect. But even if they changed insult, humiliate and offend to harass, as Tim Wilson has suggested, I think that would be a significant improvement. There is no need for intimidate to be in that legislation. That's covered by criminal law. So I think the committee will probably come up with something that's reasonably sensible. The problem, of course, is that there is this myth created that the law can protect you from hurt feelings. That's the myth that's created. That's what you hear from people all the time, that if you don't have a law like this, people will be offended by what they call hate speech. What we're talking about is hurt feelings. My feelings are hurt, being confused between Dr. Evil and Blofeld. Is that a matter for the law?
We know that there are a broad spectrum of opinions in the coalition on this particular matter. What do you think is likely to happen if this committee report gets shelved and sort of delayed by the Turnbull government, given that it's likely to be politically difficult for them?
Well, I don't think it's a do or die issue for the government. There are strong feelings within the government. There are also plenty of people within the Labor Party who are a little bit quieter, but there are strong feelings about this too. Free speech is not just a Liberal Party concern. And so the question really is whether the community cares enough about free speech to want to move in that direction. The problem is the community has been convinced that hurt feelings are a matter for the law. And what we have to do is convince them that that's not the case. I'm not sure that even irrespective of whether the Liberal Party came to a consensus on this issue, that the public is ready for it anyway.